A truly ambitious space game with huge planets and full atmospheric re-entry, landing down on planets and leaving them through the atmosphere without any loading screens whatsoever. Multiple planets to boot, it should be a huge game. This then is the early demo, 2017 as you can see on the screen right there, for Beyond Good and Evil 2. Today, 5.5 years later, what the heck is going on with this title? Well, Ubisoft have confirmed just recently, within the past few days in fact, that the game is still in development. But reports from Insider Gaming dating back to November 2022 suggest that the game may have been rebooted since the 2017 and 2018 showcases and is now considered to be in early development, at least that's according to some reports. Today then, the whole thing is very much a mystery, and there's plenty of people out there who believe that the game will never actually release. Understandable of course, because Beyond Good and Evil 2 is now the longest ever in development game. Announced 15 years ago, that's a heck of a long time, especially with so little recent information, so little recent footage to actually show for it. Actually, there's no recent footage whatsoever. Of course, this would be a perfect time to release such a game. After all, there's clearly a huge desire for a big, vast space game. Starfield is definitely likely to fill that void, but it wouldn't hurt to have more than one new such title. Unfortunately, Beyond Good and Evil seems to be a long way away, if ever at all, and there seems to be some confusion as to exactly when, how, or what is going to release. Now, stepping back, I think there's another point to consider that other people have not quite considered yet, at least I haven't seen mentioned, and that is Ubisoft's other titles. As is widely known, Ubisoft are currently working on a Star Wars game. According to information from Insider Gaming, this Star Wars game is going to be a big, vast, open galaxy, open world game, allowing players to travel from planet to planet and star system to star system. This, in many respects, could potentially put Ubisoft's Star Wars game and their Beyond Good and Evil 2 game in the exact same category, essentially competing with each other. It would also mean that the Beyond Good and Evil 2 could be considered the lesser of the two games, as it would exist in the shadow of the huge Star Wars brand recognition. Of course, we have absolutely no way to tell if that is the case or if that is what is going on, but if we take a look at this report from Insider Gaming that was released back in November of 2022, it says, in regards to Beyond Good and Evil 2, Insider Gaming understands that both external and internal playtesting has continued throughout the summer, with some sources stating that Ubisoft has been expressing that the game is in early development to those fortunate enough to get their hands on the game, as well as internally amongst colleagues and new people coming into the project. So that section, if it's true, would suggest and confirm that Beyond Good and Evil 2 is still indeed in early development, and that's 15 years into the project. Now, the next section of the article is especially interesting. Images and video provided to Insider Gaming under anonymity and under the condition the images don't go public suggests that the game has probably been rebooted since the pre-alpha demo walkthrough shown in 2018, as nothing seen shows the same level of detail. The majority of the images and footage provided to Insider Gaming show bare planets with blocked structures for buildings. Any structures that had some form of detail were very low quality, almost like the game was being played on ultra-low settings. All of the footage provided to Insider Gaming unfortunately looks nothing like the quality of gameplay shown in the video. The spaceships, however, do resemble the official footage shown in 2018. So there at least it does confirm that spaceships are still very much present in the current build of what's going on with this game. Now, on the surface at least then, some of this does seem to contradict what I mentioned earlier about my Star Wars theory. After all, it says that the Beyond Good and Evil 2 build, the current demo build, playtesting build, does have bare planets, so that would suggest that there are planets in the game. But none of this gives any hint or any suggestions whatsoever as to whether or not seamless planetary entry and the ability to seamlessly and easily travel from planet to planet is still going to be a thing. The sad thing is that back in 2017 and 2018, the scale of Beyond Good and Evil 2 seemed to be truly impressive. And even today, the game would certainly stand out. After all, there's not many other such games out there In fact, the only other action RPG with the ability to fly spaceships and travel from planet to planet would be Starfield, and that isn't even out yet. Unfortunately then, not only does Beyond Good and Evil 2 seem to be a mission in action, but the whole concept of it seems to be very much in question. Currently, there's no way to tell whether this ambitious game is even going to be ambitious. Perhaps the most ironic thing about all of this then would be if Ubisoft's Star Wars game come out and released first. Current projections from some people around the internet seem to suspect that Star Wars will be out either later on in 2023 or even some point in 2024. Although that said, and to be perfectly fair, we don't know anything about Ubisoft's Star Wars game at all. We don't even know the title of it, and we certainly haven't seen any footage. In that respect, Star Wars is perhaps more of a mystery than Beyond Good and Evil 2. But at this point, it certainly seems like it's going to be more of a sure thing, at least in terms of it actually getting a release. So that's pretty much everything we know on Beyond Good and Evil 2 right now, which isn't a whole lot, I'll admit. If you're looking forward to that game, or if you believe it's coming out, if you don't believe it's coming out, whatever your thoughts are, do let me know in the comments section below. Meanwhile, why not click on the video right here and check out what we currently know on Ubisoft's Star Wars title. The video's right there, do check it out.